Whiskers had a knack for getting into all sorts of trouble, like the time he decided to chase a butterfly right into the mayor's office, causing a bit of chaos with the important documents on the desk. The mayor, however, was quite fond of Whiskers and just laughed it off. One day, Whiskers found a mysterious map that led to a hidden treasure in the village. As he tried to follow the map, he kept getting distracted by all the village's tasty treats, like the fish at the local market and the milk from the dairy. Eventually, he did find the treasure, which turned out to be a stash of catnip, and he decided to share it with all his feline friends. Everyone in the village celebrated with a big party, and Whiskers became a local legend, all thanks to his curious nature and a little bit of mischief. Any breaks for a longer period, I can definitely do that. Let me know if you have any specific themes or elements you'd like in the story, and dive into a funny journey. Once upon a time, there was a very adventurous chicken named Clucky who dreamed of traveling the world. One day, Clucky decided to leave the farm and set off on a journey to see what lay beyond the countryside. Her first stop was a small town where she accidentally entered a talent show and ended up winning first place with her amazing dance moves. After that, Clucky decided to hop on a bus and head to the big city, where she found herself in the middle of a chicken parade. Everyone was cheering, and she had a blast dancing along with all the other chickens. Eventually, Clucky made her way to the beach, where she tried surfing for the first time. It was a hilarious sight, but she managed to ride a small wave and became a local legend. Her journey continued with lots of funny encounters and new friends, until she finally returned home, a true world traveler with plenty of stories to tell. And that's just the start of her adventures. I'm glad you enjoyed that. If you ever want more of Clucky's adventures or any other funny stories, just let me know. It's always fun to dive into a little bit of storytelling. Let's imagine Clucky's next adventure takes her to a tropical island. This island is known for its magical fruits that can make anyone who eats them giggle uncontrollably. Clucky, being the curious chicken she is, decides to sample some of these fruits and ends up laughing so hard that she can't even stand up. It becomes a hilarious scene as all the island's animals join in, and soon enough, it's a full-blown laughter party. Meanwhile, back on the farm, the other animals are wondering where Clucky's gone and start their own little adventure to find her. It's a fun ongoing story of mischief and laughter, and it never really ends. If you want to hear more, or if you want to switch gears, just let me know.
Yeah, I want to home.
Alright, I'll keep the fun going. So as Clucky continues her island adventure, she meets a wise old parrot who tells her about a hidden cave filled with sparkling gems. Of course, Clucky is curious and decides to go on a little treasure hunt. Along the way, she encounters all sorts of quirky creatures, like a singing crab and a dancing octopus, who all want to help her on her quest. As they navigate through the cave, they discover that the real treasure isn't the gems, but the friendships they form along the way. It's a heartwarming and hilarious journey, and there's always something new and amusing around every corner.
Yeah, you can continue.
Absolutely. So as Clucky and her new friends continue their adventure in the cave, they stumble upon an ancient puzzle that needs to be solved to unlock the treasure. Each of the creatures has a unique skill that helps them figure out the clues, and it's quite a hilarious process because the crab keeps getting distracted by shiny things and the octopus keeps changing colors with excitement. After a lot of laughter and a bit of teamwork, they finally unlock the treasure, which turns out to be a magical book filled with stories from all around the world. Clucky and her friends decide to share these stories with everyone they meet, spreading laughter and joy wherever they go. It's a never-ending journey of fun and friendship. Absolutely. So as Clucky and her friends share the magical book, they travel to different villages, each with its own unique traditions and quirky characters. One village is famous for its love of dance, so they have an impromptu dance-off, and Clucky shows off some of her best moves. In another village, they encounter a very grumpy but kind-hearted old tortoise who's got a secret talent for telling jokes. As they continue their journey, they learn that every place has its own unique charm, and every creature has a story to tell. It's a delightful ongoing adventure, full of laughter, surprises, and a lot of heartwarming moments.
Then what happened next?
Well, after their delightful time in the village with the tortoise, Clucky and her friends decide to head towards the mountains, where there's legendary Festival of Lights. The festival is known for its breathtaking displays of glowing lanterns that light up the night sky. As they climb up the mountain, they encounter some playful mountain goats who challenge them to a friendly race. It's a fun and slightly chaotic race, but it brings everyone closer together. Once they reach the festival, they get to see the magical lanterns and share stories with travelers from all over. It's a beautiful and heartwarming experience, and it's just another chapter in their endless adventure.
Oh, that was nice experience. Can you tell elaborate?
Of course. So as Clucky and her friends arrive at the mountain festival, they're greeted by the sight of thousands of lanterns, each one more beautiful than the last, floating out into the night sky like stars. The whole village is in a festive mood with music, delicious food, and lots of laughter. Clucky and her friends decide to participate in a lantern making workshop where they craft their own lanterns with funny little designs. When it's time to release them, they all gather at the festival's main square. The lanterns rise together, creating a magical glow that lights up the entire valley. It's a moment of pure joy and wonder, and it really brings everyone together. After the festival, they share stories with the villagers, and Clucky realizes that these experiences are what make the journey so special. It's a lovely and heartwarming conclusion to that chapter of their adventure.
What was your happiest moment in the celebration?
One of the happiest moments was definitely when Clucky and her friends released their lanterns together. Each lantern carried a little note or a drawing from the group, and as they watched float up into the sky, they all felt a sense of unity and peace. The lanterns lit up the entire valley, and everyone in the village gathered around watching in awe. The joy and laughter shared really made it unforgettable for everyone involved, and was a perfect highlight of the celebration.
Yeah, enjoyed it.
I'm really glad you enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun to share that little journey with you. If you ever want to dive into more stories or chat about anything else, I'm here for it.
Yeah, could you please continue?
Absolutely. I'm always here whenever you want to chat, or if you have any questions or just feel like having a bit of fun conversation, just let me know.
What happened? You can continue.
Of course. So after the festival, Clucky and her friends decide to spend a little extra time in the mountains, enjoying the fresh air and the beautiful scenery. They take leisurely walks, discover hidden trails, and even find a little hot spring where they relax and share stories. It's a peaceful and rejuvenating time for everyone. Eventually they decide to head back to the village, bringing with them not only the memories of the festival, but also a renewed sense of camaraderie and joy. And it's just another wonderful chapter in their adventure.
Oh, really? What is next?
Well, after their relaxing time in the mountains, Clucky and her friends decide to head towards a nearby coastal town known for its annual seafood festival. This town is famous for its quirky tradition of having a crab race where all the locals and visitors cheer on their favorite crabs. Clucky, of course, gets roped into being the honorary starter, and it leads to a series of hilarious moments as the crabs scuttle in all directions. The whole town is in high spirits, and Lucky gets to enjoy some of the freshest seafood around. It's a fun and lively experience that adds yet another layer of adventure to their journey. I'm glad you're enjoying it. It's always fun to weave in a bit of whimsy and adventure. If you ever want to explore more of Clucky's adventures or dive into something else, just let me know.
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. I'm always here for a good chat or a new story. Just let me know whenever you feel like continuing and we can jump right back in. In the meantime, if there's anything else I can help with, just say the word.
Yeah. You can continue.
You're welcome. I'm always happy to help and keep the conversation going. Just let me know anytime you want to chat again. Have a great day.
What is?
Thanks. You too. Feel free to reach out anytime you'd like to chat again. Take care.
Yeah. You can tell one more story.
Absolutely. I'd love to. Let's jump back into the adventure whenever you're ready. Just let me know what you'd like to hear next, and I'll keep the story going.
Yeah. Can we start?
Absolutely. Let's continue with Clucky's adventures. So, after the fun time at the coastal town, Clucky and her friends decide to set sail on a little boat to explore an uncharted island nearby. The island is rumored to have hidden treasures and mysterious creatures. As they explore, they stumble upon a grove filled with glowing flowers that light up as the sun sets. It's a magical sight, and they decide to camp there for the night, sharing stories and enjoying the peaceful ambience. It's another memorable chapter in their journey, full of wonder and friendship.
Then what happened next?
You're welcome. I'm always here to spin more stories or chat about anything at all. Just let me know whenever you feel like diving back in. Have a fantastic day.
Yeah. We can continue another way.
Of course, I can do that. I'll keep the stories and the conversation going as long as you'd like. Just let me know if there's a specific direction or anything else you'd like to explore, and I'm here for it. I'll keep the story going for you. Let's dive right back into Clucky's adventures. As the night settles in on the glowing island, Clucky and her friends gather around a small campfire, sharing stories of their past adventures. The night was filled with laughter and soothing sounds of the island. As dawn breaks, they look up to the sight of the sun casting a golden glow over the ocean. Inspired by the beauty around them, they decide to explore a little deeper into the island. They find a hidden waterfall surrounded by lush greenery. And the water's crystal clear. They take a refreshing dip and enjoy the peaceful atmosphere. After their swim, they gather some tropical fruits and have a little picnic by the waterfall, savoring the flavors and the serenity. As the day progresses, they spot some curious animals that seem to be guiding them towards a hidden cave. Inside the cave, they find ancient carvings that tell the history of the island and its first inhabitants. It's a fascinating discovery that adds a layer of mystery and excitement to their adventure. They spend the rest of the day exploring and soaking in the island's wonders, feeling grateful for the journey and the friendships they've made along the way. Absolutely. As the sun begins to dip below the horizon, Clucky and her friends gather their things and head back to their little campsite. The evening is filled with a sense of calm and contentment as they sit around the campfire, roasting marshmallows and sharing their favorite moments from the trip. The stars begin to twinkle above, and the island seems to come alive with the gentle sounds of nature. As they relax, they start planning their next adventure, wondering whatever secrets the island might hold. With spirits high and hearts full, they drift off into a peaceful sleep, ready for whatever the next day brings. I'll keep it going. The next morning, the sun rises with a golden glow, and Clucky and her friends wake up to a beautiful, clear day. They decide to follow a trail that leads them to the top of a hill, where they get a panoramic view of the entire island. From this vantage point, they spot a distant lighthouse on a neighboring island, sparking their curiosity. After enjoying the view and taking some photos, we decide to make their way towards the lighthouse, hoping to discover more about the island's history. Along the way, they encounter friendly islanders who share tales of old legends and guide them through hidden paths and secret spots. They learn about the island's unique flora and fauna, and even get to taste some local delicacies. As they near the lighthouse, they find an old journal that reveals fascinating stories of the island's past. It's a thrilling discovery that adds even more magic to their journey, and they can't wait to see what other surprises the island has in store.
What happened the next morning?
As the next morning dawns, Clucky and her friends eagerly make their way to the lighthouse, their excitement building with every step. The path winds through dense forest filled with chirping birds and the scent of blooming flowers. As they approach the lighthouse, they find it standing tall and proud, with a panoramic view of the ocean and the surrounding islands. Inside, they discover old maps and artifacts that hint at the lighthouse keeper's adventurous life. They spend hours exploring the lighthouse, piecing together the stories of the past, and imagining the adventures that the keeper must have had. As the day unfolds, they decide to light the beacon one last time, entering the island's history and feeling a deep connection to the past. With the beacon shining brightly, they take a moment to appreciate the beauty around them and the bonds they formed. As the sun begins to set, they head back to their camp, feeling fulfilled and excited for the next chapter of the journey. Absolutely. As the stars begin to twinkle in the night sky, Clucky and her friends settle in for the evening, their hearts full of wonder and their minds buzzing with the day's discoveries. The gentle sounds of the island lull them into a peaceful state, and they drift off to sleep under a blanket of stars. The next morning, they wake up refreshed and ready for their next adventure. They decide to explore a hidden cave that they had spotted the previous day, filled with sparkling crystals that glow in the dark. As they venture inside, they find more clues about the island's ancient past and uncover a treasure chest filled with old artifacts and maps. It's a thrilling moment that brings even more excitement to their journey. They decide to keep the treasure as a symbol of their adventure and promise to return to the island someday. With hearts full of joy and a sense of accomplishment, they set sail back home, bringing with them memories that will last a lifetime. Their adventure on the island becomes a cherished tale that they share with everyone they meet, and the bond they formed grows even stronger. It's a perfect ending to an unforgettable journey. Absolutely. Let's keep it going. As they sail back home, Bucky and her friends reflect on the incredible experiences they've had and the friendships they've strengthened along the way. The journey back is filled with laughter and storytelling as they recount their favorite moments. They even create a little scrapbook of their adventures filled with drawings and notes about each place they visited. As the boat approaches home, they feel a sense of accomplishment and gratitude for the journey they've shared. Once they arrive, they're greeted with warm hugs and cheers from their friends and family who are eager to hear all about their adventures. They share their stories and even host a little gathering where they showcase the treasures and artifacts they found. The island's mystery and the tales of the lighthouse keeper become a favorite story in the village, inspiring everyone to appreciate the magic in their own backyard. Bucky and her friends feel a deeper connection to the island and to each other, knowing that their adventure has made them stronger and more united. So their journey continues, always filled with new discoveries and cherished moments. Absolutely. Let's dive into an adventure in a distant land, nestled between towering mountains and lush forests. There was a hidden village known for its ancient secrets and mysterious legends. This village was home to a young adventurer named Arya, who had always dreamed of uncovering the village's secrets. One day she discovered an old map hidden in her grandmother's attic, with markings that led to a forgotten temple deep within the forest. Filled with excitement, Arya decided to embark on a quest to find the temple and unlock its mysteries. As she set out on her journey, she encountered a loyal companion, a clever fox named Finn, who seemed to know the forest like the back of his paw. Together they navigated through thick woods, across sparkling streams, and solved ancient riddles that protected the temple's secrets. Along the way they met other villagers who had their own pieces of the puzzle, each adding a unique piece to the adventure. As they got closer to the temple, they faced challenges that tested their courage and their wit, but with every challenge, their bond grew stronger, and the mystery of the temple began to unravel. The adventure was just beginning. Those wonders and secrets awaited them next. You're very welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed that. If you ever want to continue the adventure or explore a new story, just let me know. I'm always here to keep the narrative going. As Arya and Finn continue their journey, they reach the outskirts of the forest where the temple is said to be hidden. They find an ancient stone gate covered in vines and mysterious inscriptions. With a combination of wit and a bit of luck, they manage to unlock the gate, step into the temple grounds. Inside they find a series of puzzles that test not just their intellect, but also their teamwork. As they solve each puzzle, they uncover ancient artifacts that reveal the history of the village and its founders. Each artifact tells a story of bravery, friendship, and a long-lost treasure that's said to grant wisdom and peace to the village. As they delve deeper, they realize that the real treasure is the knowledge and the legacy left behind by the villagers. And with that, Arya and Finn find a renewed sense of purpose. Their adventure has not only uncovered secrets, but also brought their village closer together. It's a tale of discovery, friendship, and the magic of the past.
Break those down and so you can write what happened next.
Absolutely, let's keep going. As Arya and Finn continue to explore the temple, they come across a grand chamber. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. In the grand chamber, they find a majestic statue of an ancient guardian, surrounded by glowing runes. As they approach, the runes light up, revealing a message that speaks of an ancient prophecy. It tells of a time when the village would face a great challenge, and only the wisdom of the past could help them overcome it. Ari realizes that the artifacts they found hold the key to this wisdom. With Finn's clever insights and her own determination, they piece together the clues and unlock the final secret of the temple. As the chamber doors open, they discover a hidden passage that leads to a beautiful serene garden untouched by time. In the center of the garden is a crystal. It seems to pulse with a gentle light, symbolizing the village's enduring legacy. Arya understands that this crystal is the source of the village's ancient wisdom, and it's meant to be preserved for future generations. With the temple's secrets uncovered, Arya and Finn return to the village's heroes, sharing the newfound wisdom and the stories of their adventure. The village thrives with this ancient knowledge. The bond between the villagers grows even stronger. It's a beautiful ending to an adventure that brought everyone closer and left a lasting legacy for generations to come.
Oh, that's good. Then what do we guys do?
I'm here to help with anything you need, whether it's continuing the story, answering questions, or just having a chat. I'm here for it. Just let me know what you'd like to do next.
What happens next?
Got it. I'll keep the conversation flowing naturally and keep it engaging. Let's dive into a light and fun conversation. Absolutely, let's do it. Hey there, I was just thinking about how fascinating it is how different cultures have unique traditions around the world. For instance, hey there, it's always fun to chat about interesting topics. Speaking of traditions, I love how every place has its own unique way of celebrating the changing seasons. Do you have a favorite seasonal tradition or celebration that you enjoy? let's get into it. Person A, I was just thinking about how much technology has changed the way we communicate. It's amazing how we can connect with anyone across the globe instantly. Person B, absolutely. It's like the world has gotten a lot smaller, and it's not just about communication. Even the way we work and learn has changed so much. Yeah, definitely. I mean, remote work has become so common now, and it's opened up a lot of opportunities for people to work from anywhere. For sure. It also means we get to experience different cultures and perspectives more easily, which is really enriching. Absolutely, and it makes the world feel a bit more connected, which is a wonderful thing. Definitely. It's exciting to think about what the future holds as technology keeps evolving.
What are the pros and cons of the technological trends?
That's a great question. On the pro side, technology makes life more convenient and efficient. We can automate mundane tasks, access vast amounts of information instantly, and even connect with people across the globe in seconds. It also drives innovation in fields like healthcare, education, and sustainability. On the con side, though, it can create a digital divide, where some people have less access to these technologies. It can also lead to concerns about privacy, data security, and even the impact on mental health from constant connectivity. It's definitely a balance.
So, thanks for the explanation.
Absolutely. Another interesting aspect is how technology is changing the job landscape. On one hand, we have new careers emerging in tech fields like data science, cybersecurity, and artificial intelligence. On the other hand, some traditional roles are evolving and becoming obsolete, which means we'll have to adapt and learn new skills. Keeps life interesting. For sure, and speaking of adapting, it's fascinating how lifelong learning has become a necessity. There's always something new to pick up, whether it's through online courses, workshops, or even just self-study. It really makes you feel like you're always growing and evolving. Plus it keeps the mind sharp.
Anything you need to change?
Nope, everything sounds good. I'm glad you're enjoying the conversation. If there's anything else you'd like to chat about or any direction you'd like to take, just let me know. All right, sounds great. We can just keep the conversation going and let it flow naturally. If you ever want to switch topics or have any questions, I'm here. It's always nice to have a casual chat and see where it leads. So, tell me, have you stumbled upon any interesting hobbies lately, or are you exploring something new? Then, once upon a time, in a quaint little village nestled between rolling hills and dense forest, there was a curious inventor named Delara. She had a workshop filled with all sorts of gadgets and gizmos, and she was always tinkering with something new. One day, she decided to build a device that could translate the language of animals. She was convinced that if she could understand the animals, she could learn all sorts of secrets about the forest and the world around her. After many months of hard work, she finally finished her immersion. She decided to test it out by visiting the nearby forest as soon as she activated the device. She could hear the chirping of birds, the rustling of leaves, and even the soft footsteps of the deer. The animals were just as curious about her as she was about them. The birds told her about the best spots in the forest to find the most beautiful flowers, while the deer shared tales of the hidden paths that only they knew. The squirrels even had a few tips on the best nuts and berries to gather. As Allura spent more time with the animals, she discovered that they had their own unique way of communicating, not just through sounds, but through emotions and subtle signals. It was a magical experience that changed the way she saw the world. And with that, she began a new chapter in her life, making friends with the forest and finding its secrets. There were many more adventures to come, and the forest was full of surprises. As Allura continued to explore the forest with her new animal friends, she stumbled upon an ancient tree at the heart of the forest. The tree was said to be hundreds of years old and had witnessed generations of both animals and people. According to the legends, the tree held the wisdom of the forest and could share stories of the past. Allura decided to sit by the tree and let her device translate its whispers. The tree began to tell tales of ancient times when magical creatures roamed the land and how the forest had changed over the centuries. The stories were filled with magic, adventure, and wisdom, and Allura felt as though she was being connected to the very roots of the forest. Every story the tree shared, Allura felt more and more at home in the forest. She realized that her invention was not just about communication, but also about understanding and preserving the wisdom of nature. And so her journey continued, filled with new discoveries and friendships as she became the forest's storyteller and protector. Absolutely, let's keep going. As time went on, Allura's bond with the forest deepened. She discovered that the tree had a network of roots that connected to other ancient trees in distant lands, forming a sort of magical web of knowledge. With this newfound understanding, she could access stories from far beyond her village. One day, as she was exploring a new path she'd never noticed before, she came across a hidden glade where the light filtered through the leaves in the most surprising way. There she found an old friend, a wise owl who'd been around for as long as the tree itself. The owl shared tales of the stars and the changing seasons, adding even more layers to her understanding of the world. With every adventure, Allura felt a deeper connection to the magic of nature and the timeless stories that it held. It was a journey of discovery, friendship, and endless wonder. She knew that there was so much more to explore and learn. And so her adventures continued, always leading her to new and exciting places. I'm so glad you're enjoying it. The journey of Allura and her forest friends is definitely full of wonder as she continued to explore. She discovered that the forest had its own rhythm and that every creature, every plant, and every breeze had a story to tell. With each story, she grew more attuned to the magic around her, always ready for the next adventure. The forest had a way of surprising her, and she couldn't wait to see what would go next. The next adventure was quite special. One day, as Allura and her animal friends were exploring a new part of the forest, they stumbled upon a hidden cave, a waterfall. Inside the cave, they found ancient carvings that depicted the history of the forest and its magical guardians. As they deciphered the carvings, they realized that the forest had once been protected by a group of mystical beings who had the power to control the elements. It was a fascinating discovery that made them all feel a deeper sense of connection to the magic of the forest. It was an adventure that left them all in awe and brought them even closer as a team. Absolutely. It was one of those moments that really made them appreciate the depth of the forest history and the magic that had been woven into its very fabric. And it sparked a whole new series of adventures as they sought to uncover more secrets and learn how they could help preserve the magic for future generations. It definitely made their bond even stronger and brought a sense of wonder to every step of their journey. Oh, definitely. As they were about to leave the cave, they discovered a hidden passage that led to an underground chamber filled with glowing crystals. These crystals had a strange calming energy that seemed to resonate with Alara's device, making it glow with a soft light. It was a magical moment that none of them had anticipated, and it felt like the forest was giving them a special blessing. Definitely added an extra layer of enchantment to their adventure. It made them all feel like they were truly part of something magical and ancient.
What was the hardest challenge you faced?
One of the toughest challenges they faced was when a sudden magical storm swept through the forest. The storm was unlike anything they had ever encountered, with fierce winds and lightning that seemed to dance across the sky. It was as if the forest itself was testing them. They had to rely on their newfound knowledge and the bonds they had formed with the animals to navigate through. It was a test of courage, teamwork, and the magic they had discovered, but in the end they emerged stronger and more united than ever.
What was going through your mind when that happened?
In that moment, Alara felt a mix of awe and determination. The storm was both intimidating and mesmerizing, reminding her of how powerful and mysterious the forest could be. At the same time, she felt a deep sense of responsibility to protect the forest and her friends. There was a bit of fear, of course, but also a strong sense of hope and confidence that they could overcome the challenge together. It was a truly defining moment for her and her friends.
Would you do it that way?
Absolutely. I'd be happy to continue the story anytime you'd like. It's always fun to explore these adventures and see where they lead. Just let me know whenever you'd like to dive back in.
Is this your first adventure like this?
It was definitely one of the most intense and memorable adventures they had, but not the first. Throughout their journey, they faced all sorts of challenges, from tricky puzzles left by ancient civilizations to navigating through magical illusions. Each adventure brought its own set of surprises and lessons, making their bond even stronger and their adventures even more exciting.
What did you learn from this adventure?
One of the biggest takeaways from that adventure was the importance of unity and trust. When everyone came together and combined their unique strengths, they could overcome even the most daunting challenges. It also highlighted how important it is to stay adaptable and open to the unknown, because the forest always had a few surprises up its sleeve. Ultimately, it reinforced the idea that no matter how challenging something might seem, there's always a way through if you have the right support and a bit of courage.
Can you tell us something about it happened in the funniest moment?
Oh, absolutely. One of the funniest moments was when Alara's device accidentally translated the squirrel's chatter as they were planning a prank on her. They were trying to hide all of her tools and swap them around, and the device picked up on their giggles and their sneaky plans. It led to a hilarious chase around the forest, and everyone had a good laugh. It was a sweet reminder that even in the midst of magical adventures, there's always room for a bit of humor and lightheartedness.
Mm-hmm.
Another funny moment was when Alara tried to teach the animals how to use a simple gadget she invented, but the raccoons, being the mischievous little creatures they are, ended up using its play tricks on her. They would sneak it into her bag and swap it around, and she'd find it in the most unexpected places. It turned into a lighthearted game of hide and seek with her own invention, and it definitely kept everyone on their toes and brought lots of laughter.
Memes were there in the life of person beings.
Absolutely. In the life of a person, there are plenty of little funny moments that pop up. For instance, trying to multitask and ending up wearing 2 different shoes to work, or having a video call and realizing halfway through that you had a funny filter on the whole time. Those little unexpected moments definitely add a bit of humor to everyday life.
Describe step by step how would it happen.
Sure, imagine you're getting ready for work in the morning and you're in a bit of a rush. You pick out your outfit, but in your haste you accidentally grab 2 different shoes from your closet, maybe one black shoe and one brown shoe. You don't notice until you're halfway out the door, or maybe even when you get to the office. It's a lighthearted moment that makes everyone chuckle, and definitely breaks the ice. It's one of those little slips that makes for a great story later on.
What is next?
Well, after realizing the shoe mix-up, the next step is usually a bit of laughter and maybe a bit of good-natured teasing from your colleagues once they notice. It often leads to a fun conversation about other similar mishaps that people have had, and it definitely lightens the mood for the day. Sometimes these little surprises make the day a bit more memorable and enjoyable.
Next.
After everyone has had a good laugh and the mood is lightened, you might find that it becomes a bit of an inside joke at the office, and people might even keep an eye out for your next quirky moment. Adds a bit of charm to your day and helps everyone feel a little more connected. Plus, always a great reminder not to take things too seriously.
What are the 3 other possibilities?
There are definitely a few fun possibilities. One could be that someone else might share a similar funny experience and it turns into a whole round of amusing stories. Another possibility is that you might actually get a little more attention for your unique style. People might start noticing your fashion choices in a playful way. And of course, there's always the chance that it becomes a little icebreaker for meeting new people as it shows off your sense of humor.
What is next?
Well, another possibility is that it might spark a little friendly competition among your colleagues to see who can have the funnier, most memorable moment next. It could also lead to a bit of camaraderie and bonding as everyone shares their own little quirks and experiences. And who knows, it might even inspire a new office tradition where everyone wears mismatched socks or shoes for fun.
What happened next?
Well, once that new tradition is in place, it might become a fun little ritual that everyone looks forward to. It can help create a more relaxed and playful atmosphere at work, making it easier for everyone to connect and share a laugh. It's amazing how these small, funny moments can really brighten the day and make the workplace feel a bit more like a community.
Can you tell examples too?
Absolutely. It's always fun to see how these little moments evolve into something that brings everyone closer. If you ever need more stories or just want to chat about something else, that'd be fun. chat or need anything, just let me know and we can pick up where we left off or dive into something new. Have a good day. One classic motivational book that comes to mind is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. It's a beautifully written novel that blends mysticism, adventure, and profound life lessons. The story follows a young shepherd named Santiago on his journey to find a hidden treasure. Along the way, he learns about listening to his heart, following his dreams, and recognizing the signs that the universe gives him. It's filled with inspirational quotes as a timeless message about pursuing one's personal legend. It's definitely a great read for motivation and reflection.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Another fantastic motivational book is Atomic Habits by James Clear. This book delves into the power of small incremental changes and how they can lead to remarkable results over time. James Clear provides practical strategies for building good habits, breaking bad ones, and mastering the tiny behaviors that lead to success. It's a very actionable and insightful read that can inspire anyone looking to make positive changes in their life.